Hello everybody and welcome to the Hooked and Happy podcast channel. This is my channel where I talk about everything that has been keeping me hooked and happy for the last 2 to 3 weeks. My name is Jo, I'm a primary school teacher and I live in Surrey in the southeast of England with my husband, my 2 grown-up children and my cat and my dog. You can find me in other places on the internet and I will put up on the screen where those places are. Welcome back if you are a subscriber, and thank you so much for subscribing and coming back. It's really lovely to have you. And if you are new, welcome. You are very welcome, and I hope you like what you see, and if you do, I'd be really grateful if you would consider liking the video, subscribing, and please comment and tell me where you are from, what you are doing while you're watching, and anything else. I love hearing from people in the comments. It's so invigorating to reply and to see to read what you've written. So thank you so much. Thank you. And I just a note on that actually. I've been thinking lately how I also watch a lot of different podcasts on knitting and crochet podcasts on YouTube as well, and just there's such a vast number of different podcasters out there doing with amazing things to show and amazing videos that they put up. So the fact that you're watching this, I'm so grateful because there are so many to choose from. So thank you very much. Okay, shall we get into it then? I have ever such a lot to show you for a number of reasons. I have some finished objects, I have a lot of whips, and I have a lot of new things. I'll explain why I've got so many new things, particularly after the last episode where I also had a lot of new things. So I will talk about that a bit later. It is, I didn't say, it was episode 8, by the way, of the podcast. It's Monday the 1st of September today, and while many of my colleagues have gone back to work today, I'm starting a new job in a new school, and I don't go back till Wednesday. So I've got a really short window of time where nobody's in the house. So let's see if we can get a short episode. Okay, shall we start with finished objects, which is also what I'm wearing. So I have finished my granny go round jumper. So this is a pattern by Iron Lamb. It's the granny go round jumper. I used Scapier's scrumptious yarn, and it was the leftover yarn that I had from a huge blanket project that I did. It was a crochet along, a Scapier's crochet along. So I had so much left over, and I still have so much left over. So I actually have lots of blues and greens left over. So at some point I'm going to make another one. But yes, this is my finished jumper. I'll just stand up for a moment so you can see. So I think last time I saw you, I was sort of just below the split for the sleeves. So I have finished the jumper. Can I show you the bottom there? And the sleeves. There we go. So I've done it. I've done a sort of 3/4 length sleeve. I don't know if that was the right decision or not, but I like it at the moment. And what's great about crochet, of course, is that if you change your mind, I could just undo the ribbing, which doesn't take very long to do on this. It's just front post, back post. So I could just take off the ribbing and just add some more to the sleeve if I wanted to. But at the moment, I'm quite happy with the length. It's really cozy. It's very warm. It's fairly warm. It has been raining a lot today, but it's fairly warm. I'm feeling a little warm in it, but we'll see how we get on. But yeah, I absolutely love it. Now let me have a look. I did write it down. Sorry, hang on a second. I did make the 4th size. There are quite a lot of different sizes. It's really quite easy to adjust as well. You just keep going as long as you feel you need to, and then you just there's some particular counting for the underarm bit here where you split, and then so you can do a lot of adjusting as you go with this pattern. But yes, I did the 4th size, but I did increase to the 5th size for the underarm count because I was a bit worried about how much space, that I would have enough space. the pattern, in the pattern, you're supposed to keep the same, it's sort of like a balloon sleeve almost. You keep the same stitch count all the way down, and then when you do the cuff it sort of balloons a bit at the bottom. But I didn't want to do that. I did decide here, you can see where I decided to start decreasing, where I just decreased every other round for a few rounds, just so it wouldn't do that. I'm not overly happy with the way that looks. I don't think I quite did it right. However, you know, generally you're not going to notice. You can see it again. You can see it on that side, can't you? Where I've kept it the same and then I've decreased down there. So there's probably a better way of doing that will do it a bit more gradually, but I don't know what that is at the moment. So yeah, I just decreased by one granny cluster underneath in the same, roughly the same place each time. So that's probably what's caused that. And I probably should have decided here that I was going to decrease. However, just in normal wear, you can't tell. So, I'm perfectly happy with it. I kept the arms match each other. So I used this, I did one sleeve, then the other sleeve as I was making it, so that the arms would match. So they match each other, but they don't match the body. Although, coincidentally, I have got some bits that sort of have coordinates, so it sort of doesn't look too different. But yeah, I'm really pleased with it. It's really comfortable, it's really soft. Yeah, and I'm really happy that I have a finished object to show you. I literally finished it yesterday and sewed in all the ends. It's funny actually, because the ends on the arms looked horrendous because there were so many of them. Actually, it took me about 25 minutes for each arm. So it's not that bad, is it? You think it's going to be a mammoth task to sew in all the ends, but actually it wasn't as bad. It wasn't as bad as I thought. Just did it while I was watching a bit of telly, and it was, yeah, it was fine actually. Okay, so let's go on to some whips. Oh, Luna has just decided that now she'd like a bit of a fuss. I don't think she'll, no, can you see? Oh yeah, you can just see her tail flapping there. Okay, let's look at what else I've been working on. Okay, I'm just going to grab things out of the basket. I've got my basket of whips here. I've got a lot of whips at the moment. I can't seem to stop starting things. But that's okay, isn't it? Right, let's see what I've been working on. So in this bag here, so this, I'll turn it around that way because I've got a lovely little sheep pin badge on it there. So this bag is from, just get the card out, Mandy at Crafty Little Pieces, handmade. There she is, that's her information. I think that was on Etsy. Yeah, it's a lovely sort of crushed velvet drawstring bag with a really nice lining. So in here I have started the Sabai top. So let's have a look. I've got my project card here from Fanny Do Makes. It's the Sabai top number 1 by Suzanne Muller. I'm making the size L, so the size large, and I'm using, the yarn I'm using was this. Remember I talked about this last time. I'd picked this up at that lovely yarn shop in Swansea. Lovely cotton there, and that is, oops, sorry, Rico Creative Lazy Hazy Summer Cotton DK. And that's 50 grams is 145 meters, and it's 49% cotton and 46% acrylic, so it's a mixture of the two. You can tell that probably from the way the fibre is twisted. And I have made a start on the Sabai top. Hopefully there will have been a picture put up on the screen for you to see. It's a sleeveless sort of summer top really, and I know I'm late in the season for making this, but I want it, so it's fine. And I've made a start. So I have done the neckline, so I've done the rib for the neck and the increases at the side. You can kind of see how it's going to go. You've got these sort of this slanted increase here, and then I have worked on the front panel. So you've got this, it's just sort of knit and purl for the main bit, and then you've got like a little bit of ribbing down the side. So there's no extra ribbing when you finish it for the armholes. It's because you've done it already. So yeah, that's where I've got so far. I'm really enjoying the yarn actually. I love the fact that the yarn is sort of different thicknesses. So sometimes, you know, you get some thin bits, and then you get, I don't know if you can see if I hold it up, you can see the changes, can't you? It's giving it a nice texture, but still soft. The yarn is still soft, so I think it's going to be nice to wear. But yeah, I'm really enjoying working with that. So I've done the front. I think I now got to start doing some increases for the armholes, and then I've got the back on another needle here, so then I'll do the same at the back. And then once I've done the armholes, I think I then join in the round and then just knit round and round and round. But keeping those, I think this detail goes down the sides here as well on the arm. So yeah, so I'm enjoying that. I am doing that on, should I tell you this already? Can't remember. 3.5mm needles. Yeah. Looking forward to getting some more of that done. Somebody mentioned in the comments, which was really useful actually, about the armholes, and just to be a bit careful that the armholes aren't too low. So I am keeping an eye out for what to do about that. As you know, I'm not a very experienced knitter, so not very good at adjusting for things, but I'll give it a go. But I'm glad I'm aware of it, because I can keep an eye out and keep trying it and just make sure that everything is going as it should, so that I'll be able to wear it when it's finished. Okay, next whip. What's this one? So I'm just grabbing project bags as they come out. So here is another knitting project card. And this is, I mentioned that I wanted to do these last time. This is the Crochet Shorties socks by Nancy Wheeler, who is Knit Sip Happy here on YouTube. I'm using, let's have a look at the yarn. So I'm using some leftovers actually. I had some sort of leftovers from a couple of different projects that I wanted to use for this. So I think this one is possibly the little grey girl. I'm not 100% sure. If I can find out, I will confirm that on the screen. But I think it's a little grey girl one. I think there's some silk in there because it's ever so shiny. And I think that this is what I used. I made a scarf for my mother-in-law a couple of years ago, a crochet scarf, which is lovely. And I had 2 this size balls left over, so I'm using that, and then I've paired it with this, which is from Green Lambkin Yarn. It's one of her one of the sock clubs that I got last year. So this is one of the Moons of the Year club. I can't remember what this one is, but I made some socks out of that, and I had 2 balls this size left, and because I'm only making shorties, I'm hoping that these 2 are going to be okay for the Crochet Shorties. So I've only just started. This is a toe up pattern, which I haven't done before. I thought I would love it because I don't actually like casting on for socks. I don't like casting on for anything actually. I don't know if you feel the same. I want to cast it on, I want to get something started, but I don't actually like the process of casting on the stitches and trying to start in the round. I find it really fiddly, and I'm not I suppose I'm just not used to it yet. It's not part of habit. So maybe some of you who are more experienced might find that quite easy, that bit. So I thought, oh, toe up, that might be better because you're only casting on a small bit there and then increasing. But it's those increases, the make one left, make one right, that I don't love. So this, however, I'm over that now. I've done it for one sock anyway. I will have to come back for it. So, right. Sorry about that. That was the postman. Obviously, Luna had to defend me from the nasty postman. Okay. I don't know if you heard that. She's just had a bit of a yawn. She doesn't like it when we have visitors. And it was the doorbell as well. So, yes, it was all going on then. So, anyway, we are back. What was I saying? So, I was talking about the Crochet Shorties, that I'd started them, done the increases, and I'm now on the pattern. I don't know, let's see if I can show you the pattern. You can just about see it on there. It's just starting to show. I must admit I am finding this quite tricky. I know I keep saying this, but you know I'm a new knitter. So every time I do something new, you know, something with a new pattern, it's, you know, there's a new skill to learn. So there's some crossover stitches. I think it's like a bit like tiny bit of cabling, but without a cable needle, I believe. So you're crossing between stitches. Anyway, so yeah, it's producing this really cute pattern up the middle. So you can see I've used the main colour, the paler colour here for the foot, and then there's a bit of a stripe of the contrast colour, and I think then you use more of the contrast colour later. I might use it for the heel as well, because obviously I've got quite a small amount of both, so I need to try and distribute the yarn a little bit so that I don't run out. But if I do run out, I can just carry on with the other colour. It won't matter. They're only for me, and they're only shorties, so I'm hoping that that will be okay. Right, there you go, Luna. Go on then. She's trying to get past, and there's not an awful lot of space here between the sofas, so I'll just let her go. There we go, so she can go and look out the back window and see if there's any squirrels around. Okay, so yeah, those are the Crochet shorties. Crochet shorties by Nancy Wheeler. I'm using 2.25mm needles. Up until now I've been using 2.5mm needles for socks, and I just wanted to give it a try on slightly smaller, just to see how that affects, you know, how it affects my gauge, how it affects the size, oh Luna, how it affects the size of the sock that I get in the end. So yeah, I thought I'd see how we get on with the 2.25. Oh, we're very professional this week, aren't we? Oh, I didn't say what bag this was in. So this is in, let me just pop it in the bag. This is in a bag. I think this is Fibre Fox. There's no ticket in it actually, or no, I didn't have the label. So, but yeah, this is in a little sock bag by, I think it's Fibre Fox. Yeah, which is very cute, just enough for a pair of socks. Okay, are we doing okay? Right, I think because I'm in a rush today, because I know I've got a time deadline, my brain is racing ahead too fast, so I do apologise. I will try and slow down a little bit. Right, let's have a look what's next. So in this bag here, this is my Emma Ball bag with sheep and probably alpacas, aren't they? I think I said llamas last time, but I guess if it's a project bag for knitting, they're probably alpacas. Anyway, that lovely bag with this nice lining, and in here I've got my Crochet Between the Lines shawl, which was my, if you remember, if you saw a few episodes ago, this was my long languishing whip that I had, you know, stuffed in a bag behind the door that I just hadn't touched for such a long time. And I started again. I changed needles, hook size for this. This is a crochet project, by the way. Changed hook size, and actually I'm getting on such a lot better with it. I'm not finding the stitches so fiddly, and I'm enjoying it a lot more. So last time I saw you, I'd done this much, so I have added this much on. I think it's quite difficult. I don't know if you can see that the colour change has started to happen. So the darker colour is starting to go into sort of a blue, whereas it was quite grey down at the bottom. So yeah, I don't know if you can see that. I'm looking forward to seeing some big colour changes, because I do feel like, although the colours are lovely and autumnal, I wouldn't have wanted it to be this colour all the way through. So I'm quite looking forward to seeing those changes. And if I just show you that effect that the stitch is causing, yeah, there we go. So you can see stripes going one way, and then you can see the stripes the other. So if I just move it around a bit, you can see that sort of texture that the stitches cause. You can see these little ridges all the way down. That's it. If I move them, you can see them a bit better. So yeah, that is going well. So that is the crochet between the lines shawl. There is a knitting between the lines pattern as well by the same designer, I believe. It's Tammy Canavan Soldat. Again, you'll see, I'll put it on the screen for you. Yeah, there is a knitted version, so that might be interesting. I'm using a 3.5mm hook. This time I think I was using a 3 before, so I've gone up half a hook size. And I'm using 2 Scapier's Whirls. So here they are. So those are the 2 whirls that I'm using. I'm taking them both from the centre. And they are 60% cotton, 40% acrylic, these 2. And this one is the colour, where is it? Caramel Core Blimey, number 756, that's that one. Caramel Core Blimey. And this one is Jumpin' Jaffa Pop. Oh, hang on, can you see that? That's better. Jumpin' Jaffa Pop, which is colour number 771. Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing a few more colour changes in this. And with this, I seem to be in an accidental crochet along with Maddie from House of Langford. We seem to be encouraging each other just by our updates on YouTube and Instagram, seeing how far, because she's making it as well. That's what got me going to do it again, was when I saw hers. I thought, oh, I'm going to get mine out, and I think I've had a message from her saying she's kind of doing the same. Whenever she sees mine, it makes her think, oh, I must do a bit more on that. So yeah, we're doing an accidental crochet along. So yeah, let me know if anyone else is making one of these. As you can see, it does curl a lot at the edges, but I think that will come out once it's blocked. I mean, it's gonna, you know, this project's going to be going for a long time. So I'm sure that will come out in the end. But yeah, quite a lot. I've got a long way to go. So this is just one of those things that I pick up and do a bit on when I can. And now that I'm finding it a lot easier to do, now that I'm using the bigger hook size, I'm finding that it's something that I grab for that's sort of not mindless, but quite easy to just be getting on with. It's a huge repeat, like the number of repeats you have to do is huge, but that's just because of what you need to do at the end of the rows. The pattern is the same, you know, you kind of get to know what you're doing as you're going along the main bit. So as the rows get longer, it becomes sort of easier to just sit and do. So yeah, I'm enjoying that and have made quite a bit of progress so far. Okay, right, let's pop that down. Right, oh, put the card in. Don't forget that little project card. Right, what else have I got? I've still got a few to go. I can no longer see the time because I stopped it when the dog was barking, so I've got no idea how long I've been going for. So the next one is, this is my Stansbury shawl by Emily Clawson. And I'm using, so this was, I had this yarn from Lay Family Yarn 4-ply, and it was the colour that was designed by Paula from Stitched by Mrs. D, and this was the sock set, so the two came together. She couldn't decide which one was going to be her colour between these two. She chose this one in the end. Beautiful bunting. And Lay Family Yarn decided to put them together to create a sock set. And this pattern is designed to use a sock set. Hopefully you will have seen a picture now, so you can see there's a main colour and then the contrasting mini, there's a sort of a stripe of pattern there. So last time I saw you, I had got to here, so I'd done the first section, then I'd done the second section, and then that's what you saw last time. So I've now done the third and the fourth, and I've now done the blue section. I've finished the blue section now, so I'm about to go back to the main colour. So it's really difficult to show, actually. You know, obviously you would have seen the picture, so you can see, oh, that's not too bad, there we go. So you can see roughly what it's like so far. This is the top of the shawl, so this will be you know, if it was on long enough needles, you'd be able to see that this was kind of like a crescent shape. And you can see the design. It's just like a mesh design. First time I've ever done that. And that was okay. I've made a few mistakes, I think, because I had some, you know, I had the wrong number of stitches to carry on at the end, but I don't actually think it will. I mean, it won't notice, of course, will it? Because nobody's going to be looking at it closely, checking that I've got all the, you know, all the right bits of mesh. And I know I don't need to tell you about mistakes, but I don't mind, because as I seem to be going on about this episode, I'm a new knitter, and so I'm bound to make mistakes, and that's how you learn, isn't it? You learn things from trying things out and seeing, you know, how things go. The next section I've got to do is lace, the lace border, the lace edging. So that's going to be really new, because I think you sort of go back and forth like that all the way along. So it's kind of lots of short rows, but it's lace. So what I've decided to do is I've put a lifeline in on this row here. So on my final blue, I've put a lifeline in, so just a bit of scrap yarn, so that if it goes wrong, I can just pull it out and get back to this. Because again, I'm not experienced in going back and picking up the stitches, and I would be really nervous about doing that, you know, and having the right stitches from the right row. So yeah, so I've put the lifeline in there so that I can get on with the next bit. Yeah, I do like it. I don't know, they're funny colours for me. They're not really my colours. I wouldn't have sort of thought of it really to have pink and blue like that. But anyway, it's going to be a nice shawl, so we'll see what it's like when it's finished. It's just something, it's just nice to learn something new and, you know, learn some new techniques. And as that yarn was stitched by Mrs. D, it's living in my little project bag made by Paula as well. There's her little stitch. She stitches Mrs. D into her bags, and yeah, it's nice and sort of quilted. Yeah, I love her bags. This is just the small sock bag version. Okay, so that is the Stansbury shawl. Oh, project card. Put that in later. Okay, two more to go. Right, so let's have a look at this one. So this is another long term. This is going to take a long time because it's my Vertices Unite. As you know, it's big, it's huge, it's got, you know, big panels of colour. It's just going to take me a long time. It's not complicated. I'm finding it quite straightforward to follow the pattern, but it's big, you know, there's a lot of sections. Anyway, it's living in another Stitch by Mrs. D project bag, Highland Cow this time. I think it's George, isn't it? And here is how I am doing. So I haven't made an awful lot of progress. That stitch marker shows where I was last time. I've filled that gap. So it's a triangle shape at the moment. I've filled that gap, but I now need to keep going along this bit, but straight across the top. So I think, oh no, this way around, that's it. So I'm now going straight, but I'm still continuing to fill in that bit there. So yeah, so this section here, I'm using yarn by Vicky Brown Designs, and the colour doesn't really show up very well. It's kind of got a limey, lemony green colour as the base, and then these lovely speckles on it, and that was called Horsey Gap, that yarn. Yeah, I don't think there's a good way, is there? It's just not. I've got the main light on and my lamp, because the light's not very good today because it has been raining a lot, so it's not an awful lot of natural light to be able to see that colour. But yeah, that's how it's looking so far. Not much to say really. Just using stash yarn that I've put together random colours. Just thought it would be fun just to have a sort of wacky coloured shawl. I'm using, oh, I've rubbed off a bit, 3.5mm needles as per the pattern, and I'm doing the large Vertices Unite size. So yeah, that is that. Not much to say, but you know, it's just plodding along in the background, that one. And I think this is the last one, you'll be pleased to hear. So this is a new cast on, which is, I literally only just started. I went to the Southern Wool Show this weekend with my friend. We decided to stay overnight in the end at a hotel on the site. It wasn't all that expensive. So we decided to stay the night, and I cast this on while we were there. And I mentioned this last time. It's the Morning Tide shawl by Rachel Beth at RBS Crochet. And this is what I'm using, my Lay Family yarn that was dyed by Ali from Little Drops of Wonderful and This Little Wonderful Life. I'm just trying to show you all the bits because there's so much to this colour. Look at those purple bits, oh, it's brilliant. I love those. And there's yellows and peachy sort of colours and pinky orange. Yeah, it's really lovely. So yeah, I wanted to make a one scheme project with this, and I thought a shawl would be nice. Can't actually find the bit that I've started. That's because I haven't done very much. So I've literally just started, and here it is so far. So you start here, and then you've got these rows coming this way and so on. I must admit the pattern, it wasn't the easiest to follow, but I've now started to use the chart, which I'm finding a little bit better. So yeah, I'll let you know. Not much to say about that because I've literally only just started. I've just just worked on it for half an hour before we went and had dinner on Saturday night. So yeah, what am I using for that? That calls for a 3.25mm hook. That's what I'm using. Knit Pro, that's a Knit Pro one. Oh, and there's the yarn label. So that's Lay Family Yarn, Whimsical Wonderland. And yeah, this particular one was dyed by Ali herself. 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. Yeah, 4-ply. Okay, so yeah, that's that. I won't show you my Felix again. I haven't done anything on my Felix jumper. I probably will, now that I've finished this, I probably will pick that up now, because it would be good to have that this winter. So I will probably start to pick that up. But yeah, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 whips on the go. I'm sure that's the most I've had. I don't know. Anyway, I'm probably not, when it comes to plans, I think with 7 whips or 6 on the go plus going back to my Felix, I don't think I'm going to be planning anything imminently. However, of course I do have some new yarn to show you, and so there will be plans that go with that. So shall we have a look at what I've got that is new? Right, first of all, let's start with the clubs, because that was stuff that you would have seen anyway. So first of all, I've got my 2 clubs. I have my Lonely Knitter, Laura at the Lonely Knitter. I've got the next 3. These came, I think, just after, almost immediately after I filmed the last episode. So I've had these for quite a long time now. They all come with a lovely stitch mark. They're all the same, but they coordinate with each set. It's a fade, so they're all, there's some greens in the last one. Yeah, and that's that. So these are DK. These are DK minis. Don't know what I'm going to do with them, but I'm saving them until I've got them all, and then I will decide, but no rush. And the next club is my Blue Fern Yarns club. I actually got to meet Shannon from Blue Fern Yarns at the Southern Wool Show. It was lovely to meet her, lovely to see her stand. It looked amazing, so many lovely things, and I did buy some from her. But this was the club, so if you haven't got this, I haven't had this for all that long, so if you haven't got your latest Blue Fern yarn one, then you know, don't look if you don't want to see it. But this was, now this is the name of the goddess. Is it Hecate? I'm not sure. Hecate. Yeah. I don't know this particular goddess particularly well, but this was a colour. This is my favourite so far, and this did make me gasp when I opened it because of how lovely the colour is. Look at that. So it's got purples in there. It's on quite a pale base. They're all sort of very similar in terms of the sort of base colours. So they're gonna look really nice together in whatever I decide to do. See the purples there, you can see these green. Is that green? Yeah, green with purple. It looks a bit blue on the screen, but it's sort of a greeny colour. It's got these lovely sort of coppery speckles in there. Is that green speckles? Green and copper speckles there. Oh, it's lovely. And of course it comes with a mini to go with it. Oh, I think that is absolutely lovely. So I'm absolutely thrilled with that. Lovely. Okay. As you know, I don't know what I'm doing with my Blue Fern Yarns club. I don't think I'm going to put them all in one project. I think I might choose a few different. Might put some of the colours together and choose a few different projects. I don't want to do a big blanket or anything like that, because it's likely that this could be some form of blanket. And I've got my Blooming Lovely from Green Lambkin Yarn. That's becoming a blanket, so I don't want to have too many blankets. So I don't think it'll be that, but wait and see. Right, shall we get on to the goodies from the Southern Wool Show? It was lovely. We bought a 2-day ticket, my friend and I, and we bought the 2-day ticket because we weren't sure when I bought them which day we were going to go. We couldn't decide whether we were going to go Saturday or Sunday, so we thought let's just get a weekend ticket. It's not that expensive, and then we can decide nearer the time. It was at Newbury Racecourse, which is about an hour and a half away from me. So not too bad at all. So perfectly fine to get there and back in a day. But we were thinking, oh, if we've got the 2-day ticket, we can go on the Saturday, and then if we decide that we want to see more, we can just go again Sunday. And then my friend on Friday night said, I found a room in the hotel. It's not very expensive. Shall we just stay? So we did. We stayed there, and it was really nice actually, because it meant that we could really casually look around on the Saturday and sort of not worry about timing and not worry about whether we have seen everything or not. Really take our time. Lots of stops for tea and cake and things like that, and some lunch. It's really nice. Saw a few familiar faces. Bumped into a few podcasters that had a chat with, which was really nice. It was really nice show. It was really busy on the Saturday morning, and not so busy on the Sunday morning. So actually that was quite nice on the Sunday, once we'd already been in the sort of fullness of the crowds on the Saturday, to just sort of meander around first thing on Sunday, where it was far much less busy. It's a really nice show. So I was going to explain why I've got so much, particularly after last week having so much. I had some money saved for this because, as you know, I finished my job at the end of the summer, and the lovely staff at school clubbed together for a gift, which was it was like a collection pot that they do, and so I took that collection pot with me to enjoy myself at the Southern Wool Show. So that's the explanation. I know I don't have to explain, but I just wanted to. Okay, so I'll show you what I got in order. So in Saturday and then Sunday, because I bought something on both days. Right, so on the Saturday, the first thing, was this the first thing I bought? I think so. So the first thing I bought was Blue Fern Yarns. So I went to see Shannon at Blue Fern Yarns, and she had some really lovely autumn colours, and they seem to be the colours that I'm drawn towards at the moment, sort of the orangey browny colours of autumn, dark pinks, that kind of colour. So I bought 3 of these. Let me just show. There's the 3. I don't know why I'm proving to you that I've got 3. There we are. So, but I'll just show you one of them. So here it is. So it's a sort of dusky pink colour, and it's got some little bits of sort of like a greeny browny rust sort of colour threaded through. Difficult to explain, but that's where you can see it there. The green's not really coming out so well. Yeah, I suppose you can see it a little bit, can't you? You can see there's a bit of a halo on there. Oh, what's that? There we go. Bit of a halo on there. So because this is her cozy 4-ply. So it's 70% baby alpaca, 20% silk, 10% cashmere. So this was my fancy yarn to buy. So I got, it's ever so soft. It's really, really lovely. I bought 3 of those. So I'm thinking a garment. And I'm thinking possibly the, what did I wrote it down, what I was thinking of, can't remember the name of the pattern. It's a tee. Oh yeah, possibly the Salty Air tee. So top down yoke sweater with some patterning around the yoke, some lace around the yoke. So, you know, again, new skills, some patterning in a garment. So yeah, I might give that a go. Not anytime soon, of course, but at some point. So that was my first purchase. Okay, then I saw Ducky Darlings, went to her stall, and one of the things I had on my list was I wanted to get some boucle. I've seen some podcasters use it, you know, in some of the podcasts I've been watching, I've seen people using boucle in garments actually. Rachel at This Knitty Life and Franny Do Makes, they've both made jumpers out of boucle yarn. So I wasn't going to get another sweater quantity, but I did get this boucle yarn from Ducky Darlings. And I thought what I would do with it is make a cloudy, where's my memory? Cloudy Nora, which is a shawl pattern where you pair it with some mohair. So there's the boucle, and then I've bought that mohair to go with it. Is that on? Can you see all of that? Yeah. So you can see it kind of ties in with that colour there. So yeah, I'm going to hold those. Oh no, you don't hold them together. Sorry, I don't know why I said that. You don't hold them together. You use them separately. You stripe the mohair and the boucle in that Cloudy Nora for a really pretty looking. So these will stripe for a really pretty looking shawl. So that is 100% merino boucle DK, and this one is 50 grams of mohair silk, 72/28. I guess that's the percentage, is it? 72% mohair, 28% silk. I don't really know. I'm guessing that's what that means. So this is in the colour Spruce. This looks quite blue actually. It's a lot more teal in real life. Yeah, more of a teal than a blue. It does look blue on there. Does it look better when they're together? Yeah, that's a bit better. If I do it further away, it's a bit more tealy. And then that one's in the colour Woodlands. Yeah, so that was the next purchase. Then I got, we haven't finished. Then I got, do you remember last week I showed you the tweedy yarn that I got from The Lonely Knitter, the Game of Thrones themed? So those were the 2 that I showed you last week. So I wanted a third one. So this probably will now be a garment because I wanted a third one of these to possibly make a vibes tee, a striped tee. So I got this one to go with it. So this is from the Urban Pearl, and it's another tweedy base. I don't know what colour that looks like on the screen, but it's a much more green, again, a sort of, I don't know what sort of green you'd call it, but slightly teal, I suppose, in colour. But yeah, I think these kind of, it's really difficult to show you that colour. but there's a little bit of sort of pale teal in this one, which I think will bring out that. And I think striped, I think, you know, they'll be quite nice striped together. Anyway, so that was the next one. So this one is Tweedy Merino 4-ply in the colour Marlin. It's got those lovely tweedy bits in it, which match really nicely. The tweed bits are the same colour in both those yarns. So yeah, I think those will go well together. That was it for yarn on day one. And then I also went to Jo at Pickle Lily's stall and got myself a little yarn bucket, which is super cute with these sheep all over it. It has a little side fastening there so that you can actually have your yarn coming out through there as you're using it, and a little popper fastening at the top. So yeah, really nice. That's the size, just small, just for sort of one cake really would fit in there nicely. So it would be really nice for, yeah, just popping it there on the sofa with your little project in. So I've got one of those. I purposely wanted to go to Pickle Lily to have a look at her bag. So yeah, that was also on my list. So then we have day two. So I wasn't quite done. So I then went to, keep forgetting the name of this one. Jo Knits Sew. Jo Knits Sew this was. I'll try and link them below if I can, all of the sellers of these. So I bought a lovely little bucket bag. I might use this for storage. Maybe I'll use it to store my club yarn in, maybe to keep it all together. So it says on the front, it's just a phase, and then there's the phases of the moon. It's like a denim-y print, and then inside, sorry, denim fabric. It's not printed on, it's a denim fabric with the gold lettering printed on the front, and then inside this lovely autumn leaves fabric. So yeah, that was that. And then just two more. So another thing on my list that I wanted to have a look at was I wanted to go to Bird Street Yarn and see what they had, and particularly their zebra yarn. And so I did. I picked up a zebra yarn. You can see the zebra bits in there. Such a good colour. So I think this is probably going to be socks. And this is Town and Country Mice. Zebra sock, 80% merino, 20% nylon. 4-ply. Yeah, love that. Look at those colours there. Look at that bit there. I think these are going to make some lovely socks. So yes, that will eventually become some socks. Don't know when, but they will. And finally, oh, this was quite funny. This was a spur of the moment purchase. We were looking at the Crafty Bird, her stall, and her latest collection is based on inspired by the Lion King. And oh, the collection is, when you look at the colours all together like that, like we did on her stall, you can see exactly why those colours are the Lion King. They were just beautiful, really sort of African feel, and the savannah. Oh, it's just really lovely. So I got this one. And this is King of Pride Rock Cozy 4-ply, which is 100% superwash merino, 100 grams, 400 meters. Yeah, Cozy 4-ply. So there's her label, and there's the details. But honestly, go and have a look at her at the collection on her website, because it's absolutely gorgeous. My friend bought a different one as well. She bought a really lovely one too. We were both hovering around the stall, and you know what it's like. You get one in your hand and you keep looking at it and you keep looking at it, and you realise you've had it in your hand for a long time, and that's what happened here. And I thought, well, I was talking to her, I'm sorry, I can't remember her name, but the lady at the Crafty Bird, and we were chatting, and I was still holding it. I was saying how beautiful the colours were, and I thought, well, I can't leave here now and not buy one after having complimented the, saying how beautiful they were. So yeah, that might be, could probably be a nice hat, couldn't it? I don't know. I don't know why I'm putting ball of yarn on my head, but trying to see if the colours would be good. Yeah, I think they'd be nice. Nice hat, nice socks. Yeah, I think that would be lovely. And that is it. That was all I bought. Okay, I think my window of time is running out, so I think I might just pause us there. Right, sorry about that little break. As I said, I had a really short window to record, and that window has now closed. So I'm back just to do the last little bit, reading, watching and life stuff. So I have made some notes so that I don't forget some of the things that we talked about last time. So yeah, as I mentioned, it's still school holidays. I think when I recorded last time, it was the beginning of the school holidays, and we'd been away and things like that. So the last few weeks we haven't been doing very much. We've just done little days out and things like that. And obviously the yarn show. So that's why I've made quite a lot of progress on quite a few things. Because of having that time. So I don't think I'll have as much progress next time, because I'll be back in full flow of school life, and particularly as it's a new school that I'm going to, getting to know my class, getting to know the school routines. So I'm sure that there's probably going to be less crafting opportunities, but we'll see. I do a lot in the evenings. So you never know. Let's see what we get done. I think where I'm going to focus my time, my knitting and crochet time, is probably on my Felix jumper sleeves and my Sabai top, and probably just a bit more on my between the lines shawl, because that's the one I kind of tend to pick up. So yeah, the two knitting projects, those are probably where I'll focus most of my attention. Over the next couple of weeks, I guess. So yeah, reading, watching and listening. Couldn't think what the other one was now. So reading, I finished reading People Like Her by Ellery Lloyd. I think last time I literally just started it. I'd read the first page or something. I gave it 2 stars. It was okay. I wanted to read it to find out what was happening, but it took a long time for the main event to happen. It was a thriller. And it was focused around a family who are Instagram famous, or the mother is Instagram famous, the mum of the family, promoting sort of mum life. And yeah, it was a thriller sort of based on that, but nothing really happened until right at the end, and then it was very, very quick to get through the action. So I think there was a sort of bit of a missed opportunity there. So it was okay, but I only gave it 2 stars. So I wouldn't particularly recommend it, but that's not to say somebody else might not love it, of course, because we're all different in our tastes. So I might be missing something, but it wasn't for me. It was enough to keep me wanting to read, but then it just finished a bit too quickly. It was a bit disappointing in the end. So I've now started reading with my eyeballs Miss Benson's Beetle by Rachel Joyce. About 50 pages in. I'm enjoying it so far. And that's about a woman. This is set in about the 1950s, I think. And the woman whose father helped her become interested in the natural world, and she goes to a South Pacific, or she wants to go to a South Pacific island in search of a beetle that hasn't been formally identified or discovered yet. So yeah, that's where we are so far. So yeah, I haven't got very far. She hasn't gone yet. She's just preparing to go. So but yeah, I'm enjoying that so far. And with my ears and my Audible, was I reading something else, or had I already started? Yeah, I think I'd just started this last time. So I was reading the second one of the TJ Klune books, and I'd finished reading The House on the Cerulean Sea, and I'd just started reading Somewhere Beyond the Sea, which I'm still reading. I've only got about an hour and a half left, so a couple of dog walks and that'll be done. one of the things I'm sorry, sidetracked. One of the things I'm really looking forward to about my new job is that I'm going to be able to walk there and back. So the main thing I'm going to be doing on that walk is listening to Audible. So I'm looking forward to being able to get through some books that way. On that journey to work, I'm looking forward to having that sort of time to and from work in the fresh air, whatever the weather, a bit of time to decompress, and I think that would be really good. So yeah, I should finish that pretty soon. And I'm enjoying it. I prefer the first book, actually, I have to say, Somewhere Beyond the Sea. I am enjoying it, but there are moments where I feel that I'm listening to a child's book because of the characters and that in it. They are quite strange. It's not a child's book. It's definitely not a child's book. Some, occasional language and the way they speak. Nothing much, but just it's clearly not written for children. But I am enjoying it. The themes are really nice, and that, I think that's the sort of main purpose, is the sort of use of fantasy to make a point about differences and equality, and sort of not judging people by what you think they are, but by their personality. So I like that. So I am enjoying it, but I did prefer the first one. We've finished watching, I think I was watching House of Dragon. We'd gone from Game of Thrones to House of Dragon. I preferred House of the Dragon, actually. I don't know whether anybody else has watched those series, but yeah, really, really liked that. So we finished that, and we're now watching Slow Horses, which is a series on Apple TV, I think it is. I think it's on Amazon Prime as well. But it's sort of a MI5 detective type program. It's got Gary Oldman in it, who I really like. He's horrible in this show. Really, sort of not very appealing character at all. But I think he's excellent as an actor. So that's pretty good. It's about the Slow Horses are a group of MI5 agents who have been sort of almost kicked out of the main building of MI5 because they're not good enough. They keep failing, but they're being drawn into all these cases, and it turns out they're actually pretty good at what they do. But yeah, that's quite good. We're enjoying that. Podcasts I've been really enjoying. So 2 I'm going to mention this time that I've really been enjoying watching. And funny enough, these two podcasts, as I saw them together, well, 3 of them actually. It's two shows, two channels, 3 podcasters, and I saw them all together at the Southern Wool Show when we were looking around the James Makes Yarns stand, but they were in full flow of conversation, so I didn't get an opportunity to say hello and introduce myself. But that is Jess and Jack from the Big Sis Little Bro Making Show. They've got a new channel. I think they've only done about 3 or 4 episodes, but they've got a lovely relationship. They both knit, and they've got a really nice way that they easy chatting together, and it's really nice to watch, nice to see the things that they make, and it's really sort of relaxed. They're just being themselves, which is really nice. And the other one is Bex Creates. Bex is the sister of Claire from Bird Street Yarn. And her podcast is really nice as well. She makes some really nice things, uses a lot of Bird Street yarn. But it's really, she's a teacher as well. So, I feel some kind of affiliation with her and her making. And so, she's really nice to watch too. So I would recommend those 2 podcasts. Back to school on Wednesday. I'm hoping to get this edited, because now I've obviously got a few clips that I need to put together because of the interruptions. Hoping to get this edited and ready to upload Tuesday or Wednesday this week. So hopefully you'll be watching this on either the 2nd or maybe even the 3rd of September. As I said at the beginning of the episode, thank you so much for sticking with me. I feel like this episode has been a little bit all over the place. So I do apologise. I don't know whether it's because I felt rushed because I had a short window, and all the kind of going back to school anxieties. I don't know, but hope it's okay. Please, let me know what you've been doing while you've been watching. Shall we have an emoji to put down the bottom? I do like it when people put that. I know Helen from Giddy Yarns, Giddy Knits, she always says, you know, if you've watched this far, put this emoji down below. And it's just nice, isn't it? If you don't know what to type, what to write in a comment, you can put something. Let's have a back to school themed. I think there's like a teacher with a blackboard behind, or pens or pencils or anything that's kind of back to school related. If you want to comment in below, that would be amazing. Please subscribe if you're not a subscriber already. I'd love to have you. You know, I feel like the channel's doing okay. It's sort of very slowly creeping up. It would be nice to increase that a bit more. So if you feel like sharing it with people who you think might like to watch, I'd be really grateful. But yeah, thank you very, very much for being here. I really appreciate it. And I will see you all next time. Take care.